With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back trackside once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, the Retro Kart League fires off for race number 3 right here at the historic, famed, world-renowned Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the Indianapolis Grand Prix. Here tonight for the Retro Kart drivers, 100 laps around this 2.5 mile track. That's right, 250 miles in store for these drivers. Is going to be a race of attrition. Indianapolis Motor Speedway has been known to eat up some great drivers, and we're going to have to see who can make it to the end here tonight. How you doing? How you feeling out there in TV land, race fans? Glad you could all join us here tonight. As always, Dave in the Cave bringing you all the calls from trackside. Qualifying already underway, so what do you say we get to some of those timing and scoring speed charts. Left-hand side of your screen, there you can see making his debut here tonight inside of the 75 Lotus machine. Rafael Rodriguez takes the top spot. Quick time here in qualifying belongs to Rodriguez. He's going to take it with a 47.63 as your pole speed. Still a handful of drivers yet to put in their time lap. Michael Taylor walking away with the race win. Opening night at Phoenix. Gonna slot in fifth. A little bit of a rough go last week or I should say 2 weeks ago at Long Beach. We unfortunately had to take a sabbatical of sorts last week. Hurricane Ian coming through and doing tons of damage down there in Florida. If you're on social media or even just your local news, things of that nature, I'm sure you've seen and heard about the devastation down there in Florida. Luckily, here in the Carolinas, we weren't hit as bad. There's still some storms rolling through, and we were unable to get on the plane and to the track for last week's scheduled event. So we worked with promoters and track officials, and we got everything moved back 1 week so we could bring you some great racing action with these Lotus 79 machines here in qualifying. Only 2 minutes remaining and only one driver left to take that top spot away from Rafael Rodriguez at the front of the field. Bill Smithman, the 55, out on track. Will he be able to take the top spot and roll off the grid in that coveted pole position? As we said, it's going to be a long night for these drivers. 100 laps around the track here tonight, 250 plus miles. These drivers are going to be close quarters racing, and they're going to have to be cautious. We'll use the word. They're going to have to err to the caution side of things if they're going to want to make it to the end. No fast fixes, no quick repairs. So if you're in the outside wall and you got too much damage, your night's going to be over with, and it's a long night to be limping around a very, very big track here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Fans begin to file in and fill up the stands, and we get set and ready to go and watch a great race here tonight. Beautiful shots right here circling around the flagging timing tower. One of the unique spots here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the grandstands on the inside of the track, back high above the racetrack now in the turn 3 blimp cam. You might catch a shot of that nice looking iRacing blimp that's out here among us as well. And I mean, just look at that. Look at the golf course. There's a go-kart course. There's road course layouts through the center of this track as well. Just a beautiful, beautiful facility. And if you love racing of any sorts, any kind, this is one of the meccas, if not the mecca, for your choice of racing here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So with the final 30 seconds rolling off the stopwatch, it looks like qualifying will come to a close, and Rafael Rodriguez going to take the top spot in his debut here tonight for the Indianapolis Grand Prix. We're going to step away for a brief commercial break, then head trackside for your national anthem, so don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back.
So proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming. broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the boats bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And back trackside as everybody fires the engines behind the iRacing pace car. We're ready to roll off of your starting grid here tonight. 10 drivers gonna vie for the checkered flag. And as they roll down the front stretch, you can hear those bells beginning to ring in the background. You know the sounds. You know it's time to run down tonight's starting lineup here in the Indianapolis Grand Prix for the Retro Kart League. Starting inside row number 1, snatching the pole position, debut race for that Miller-sponsored number 75 machine. He'll start from the inside. Rafael Rodriguez snatches the quick time and rolls off from the pole position just to his outside. Mirror image on the sponsorship of that 69 machine. James Smith gonna start outside row number 1. Back in row number 2 here tonight for the Indianapolis Grand Prix, the 61 of Marcellus Bruning in the, I believe that's the 82 of Christopher Hamlick. Michael Taylor and Chris Brown back in row number 3. Row number 4 here tonight, starting inside row number 4. In the 7th position, the 31 of Stefan Rossman. Douglas Small gonna try to wheel that 80 machine to the front of the field. Starts from outside row number 4 in the 8th position. Bill Smitham back in 9th. Sean Langton rolling off 10th after walking out of Long Beach with a checkered flag. Perry Vance rounds out the field. Pace car down in the way. Field makes their way to the restart zone, and we're going to get set to fire things off here tonight. Music fades and all the gas. Green flag flies here from Indy. Green flag flies and getting away from the field. How about Marcellus Bruning? He's going to shoot out of a cannon. And he's going to go straight to the top of the speed charts. And it looks like Rafael Rodriguez had some trouble getting to the starting grid. He's going to have to start from pit lane. And it looks like they may be scoring him already 1 lap down. Big disadvantage, but it is early here tonight, so we'll have to wait to see how everybody goes about it. And I don't quite understand why it says lap number 3, but we will stay with it. Interesting. Tell you what, let's see if we can't make sure everything is right on our end. So we're going to skip to something really quick. I do apologize. Marcellus Bruning leading the race right now. Do apologize for the hiccup, and I know we are on more than lap number 0. This is, looks like timing and scoring may be giving us a little bit of a problem here tonight. James Smith going to look now to the inside of Marcellus Bruning. He's going to take that top spot away. Christopher Hamlink running in that third position. That yellow number 82 looking to take second away from Bruning. Bruning on the high side. Meanwhile, back behind them, a little bit of a gap. Stefan Rossman kind of just waiting in the wings right now, trying to let it all unfold in front of him. And here we go. Now we're back on track. For some reason, timing and scoring, he was having a little bit of a fit on us here tonight. However, we were correct. Rodriguez, your pole sitter here tonight, missed the start of the race. Starts a little bit behind the 8 ball. He's about 7 seconds back from the battle for your race lead, as now James Smith looks to take that inside lane and parlay it into a few laps. Led Christopher Hamlink right behind him. Looks like Hamlink wants to lead a lap here. How about that Marlboro sponsored number 22 of Michael Taylor? Taylor with a good run up one position from where he qualified, trying to make his way into a podium position. And as we've already said, a long night here tonight from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 100 laps is the official scheduled distance. No fast fixes, no quick repairs for these Lotus 79 drivers, so they're going to have to tiptoe for a little while, I should say. And as I say that, we've got a hot and heavy battle here at the front for your race lead. Christopher Hamlink looking now to the inside. He'll have the preferred line. Heading back into turn number 1. Looks like they're going to clear turn 1 without any problems. Now looking to the entry of turn number 2. Single file down into turn 2. Drivers will make their way off of the exit and back down the back stretch once again, coming right at you. And it's 3 wide for the race lead. Mark Bruning. Marcellus. He wants it back. He wants to get back to the top of the speed charts and lead another lap here tonight. He's going to go 3 wide bottom. He'll take that spot away. Hamlink now going to fall back to second. Protect that second position by running down there on the bottom of the racetrack. But we've got groups at the top. And here comes Michael Taylor, making his way inside the top 5. Taylor battling now for that third position in that Marlboro-sponsored number 22 machine. Stefan Rossman right behind him. And how about Sean Langton? He's been able to get a handful of positions. Langton started in the 10th position, so already up to 6th, knocking on the door of a top 5. It looks like maybe these 3. I believe that may be Brown, Smitham, and Small just kind of hanging out right here, letting these top 5, 6 drivers battle amongst themselves, trying to keep their cars clean and get to the end. And while we continue this great close racing action, what do you say we go on board with one of the drivers? Let's jump down trackside now, looking over the right-hand shoulder. We ride with the 22 of Michael Taylor. Taylor running in that third position. There you can see Taylor a little bit out of the gas and right back on it, right back in it. Listen to these things scream. I mean, absolutely getting it out there. Pushing upwards of 200 miles an hour on the track here tonight. We'll jump back outside the car here with Michael Taylor, as he's going to lose a little bit of ground here. He's going to fade to the high side. That's going to open up the door for the 31 of Stefan Rossman. Rossman going to take the position away. Langdon going to follow through as well. So just like that quick battling for second and third. And now Michael Taylor is all the way out of your top 5. Chris Brown right there beginning to close in. Brown looks to have a look to the inside. He'll take that position away. And we've had trouble on the track for one of our drivers. Looks like some issues with that 75, and he's going to pull it back to pit lane, and they're driving it straight back behind the wall. Looks like this may be some terminal engine issues here for Rodriguez. He's going to be back behind the wall for a while, and it looks like a tough break right here. We're seeing him beginning to pack things up there on pit road, so I believe the night for the 75 is over, with trouble early here tonight with the engine for Rodriguez, and he's going to fall back all the way into the final finishing position after a great qualifying effort. Had trouble getting to the starting grid with engine issues, and they're going to rear their ugly head. The 75 team looked like they may have had it corrected, but we'll have to wait for word on what happened, what part broke. But disappointing finish in his debut after snatching the pole early here. Rodriguez going to finish in 10th. Meanwhile, front of the field, they ain't sorted this out yet. Sean Langton, he's now into second, looking for that top spot. It's a battle at the front. We got beer and tobacco going at it with each other. Two of those Miller-sponsored machines. You can see the Copenhagen number 30 of Langdon looking to the inside of the racetrack. He's looking for the first lap lead here tonight for him and his 30 crew. Not going to grab it at the line. Smith at the top of the racetrack will keep that lap for the moment, and Langdon going to clear through turn number 1, trying to come up the track just a little bit. Maybe force that 69 to jump it out of the gas a little bit, and maybe not feeling too safe about it. 30 goes back down to the bottom of the racetrack. Marcellus Bruni going to get off the gas and allow that pass to happen. And here on lap number 10, 90 laps remaining here tonight. You got to have that give and take at this point of the race. It can't be all about gimme, 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 mine, mine, mine. You're not going to break away from each other. Not right here, not at Indy. The draft is going to be king. I mean, if you can get yourself solo and get about 5-10 seconds out front, okay, you may have a shot by yourself, but as long as you've got 2 or 3 of these drivers tucked in line with each other, maybe utilizing a little bit of a leapfrog strategy, they're going to run you down. The draft will make these cars much, much faster. Already about a 10-mile-an-hour difference between the speed that Douglas Small and the 80 machine is running all by himself. We'll take a look back here at Douglas. Make sure he's got all the parts and pieces still intact. And yeah, the 80 machine, he's still looking for a little bit of sponsorship on that Lotus. But there he is, just about 10 miles an hour off of the pace of everybody that's running in this lead pack. We'll jump back up here once again. Watch this battle continue to unfold. Side-by-side racing action since the drop of the green flag here tonight. We've had 2 wide, 3 wide at times. We'll go side by side once again for the battle with the race leader on the high side. Sean Langdon right behind him. Look how close Langdon is here. That's unbelievable. We'll jump on board now with that 30 Copenhagen sponsored Lotus 79. And I mean, just look how close these guys are. I mean, you can almost see into the engines back there. In a big move, big draft, he'll look to the bottom of the racetrack, and Langdon gonna get a lap led once again here tonight. Yet another lead change at the front. We've had ourselves about 7 or 8 lead changes already here tonight. So as Langdon leads them down into turn number 2, we'll jump back outside of the car as they begin to head down the backstretch. Everybody chasing after that 30, Bruning and Hemlick. Man, it is just, it's almost too much to keep up with. I mean, these guys are throwing haymakers at each other. We're getting 2 to 3 lead changes a lap right now with a very long race ahead of ourselves. It doesn't look like too many of them really concerned about tiptoeing through the tulips. They all want to be out front. They all want to lead the laps. Christopher Hamlin will cross the line and lead that time by. Lap number 14 now goes on the board. Smith going to charge back to the front on the bottom of the racetrack. He's been inside of your top 5 since the drop of the green flag here tonight. So, as I say, nobody can really do much. I mean, we've got drivers moving to the front, getting laps led, moving back a handful of positions. You can see already that 22 of Michael Taylor. He was up there leading the race at one point. Now he's kind of stuck right there around that 5th, 6th position in the Marlboro-sponsored number 22 machine. Christopher Brown, he's yet to get up there in that orange-colored Lotus the 37, gonna just kind of hang out right here. And, you know, I kind of like that strategy. You know, you can kind of hang out right here. Some of these drivers in the tail end of this lead pack. It's a small field here tonight. Only 10 drivers able to make the start. Perry advance. unable to grid as well, so he will finish with the final spot in the running order back in 11th. Rafael Rodriguez with some early engine trouble. It's going to put an end of the night for him. So with only 9 guys out there on the track, they're going to be able to play a little strategy here. I think Rossman, Brown, Smitham, they could probably work with each other, save a little bit of fuel here. Being at the tail end of this draft, they're not going to be using as much fuel. Maybe run a lap or two further than the guys in front that are battling hard for this race lead, using up a ton of fuel right now. Stay kind of in line, keep the draft, keep the speeds up, and they might have a chance to kind of leapfrog this field with the long pit. We have to wait to see how it all unfolds, though. Still a very long way before we see those green flag pit stops. Lap number 16, halfway in the bag. Side by side down the backstretch, Bruning and Smith going at it. Langdon sitting right there in third, looking for a way around. He'll drop to the bottom, grab that second position away. Now look to pull even with your race leader. It's a drag race across the bricks, and they're going to give it to Langdon at the start-finish line. The Copenhagen number 30 going to grab another lap led here tonight in the Indianapolis Grand Prix. And, you know, we came into tonight's race, everybody out there in TV land, whether you're joining us on the Facebook page, you're over there on Twitch, or right here on the YouTube side of things, I figured these drivers were probably going to take it a little easy. I thought we may see some single file racing, kind of log some laps, you know, very long race, no quick fixes, no fast repairs. So these drivers, you hit the outside one time, the wrong angle, and break one of these suspension parts, well, your night's going to be over, and you don't want to be sitting there watching everybody else turn laps. Unfortunately, here tonight, the engine will expire for that 75 of Rodriguez. So after starting things off on the right foot, the rookie in his debut here tonight at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway snatched the pole position, but had engine troubles coming around the track on his cool down lap in qualifying. Kept him from making the starting grid, got back out there, was beginning to make a little bit of speed back up in the engine, just let go. And unfortunately, that 75 will end his night a little bit early. But everybody else up here at the front, man, they have been absolutely on it. Biggest mover of the night, up 9 positions, battling for the race lead at the line. Gonna grab yet another lap led. Sean Langton, man, he's been a man on the move, man on the charge, up 9 positions. I don't think anybody's going to make up that many more at this point in time. Douglas Small still sitting back in 9th. Bill Smitham in 8th. Man, just look at how close they are. 3 wide once again down the backstretch. Here on lap number 19, drivers will head down into turn number 3. Sort things out a bit. Oh, wiggling on the bottom of the racetrack. That's Michael Taylor, previous race winner. Walked away with the checkered flag in our season opener. And the man that dominated at Long Beach, trying to take the race lead from him. So your 2 race winners at the front of the field showing the way. James Smith in at 69, he ain't afraid of nothing. He's right there. Just because you got a checkered flag already doesn't mean I can't get one here tonight. Smith hard on the gas, looking for a way around. He'll have to stay in line for the time being. Doubled up. 2 rows deep at the front of this field. Langdon leads Taylor, Smith, and Bruning. Back in 4th, Christopher Hamlin right there running in that 5th position. Chris Brown in 6th. Stefan Rossman back in 7th. Bill Smitham going to pick up 1 spot from where he qualified tonight. Smitham going to run in the 8th position. Douglas Small back in 9th. Driver's going to come around and exit turn number 2, head right at you down the backstretch. Once again, off into turn number 3 we go. Man, and it's almost a blur. Up close. Coming right at you out of turn number 3, back down into turn 4 after the short shoot. Everybody still nose to tail as they work their way down the long front stretch. Going to cross the yard of bricks, part of the original racetrack, still left intact. And that is a beautiful, beautiful sight. Side by side, IndyCar action here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You can't ask for much more if you're a race fan. 22 laps into tonight's into tonight's event. That was extremely close. That could have went bad, big time for a lot of drivers. Almost into the gearbox of Smith was Langdon. Hamlin having to check up, Bruning having to check up, and if something happens right here at the front, you're gonna have to hope that you got cat-like reflexes, because if one of these machines gets sideways and starts throwing parts and pieces, you may find yourself in some trouble really quick here. Upwards of 200 miles an hour entering the corners in these older machines. You know they're not padded. You know they don't necessarily have the best safety features, and that's what makes the fact that these drivers are willing to risk it at the speeds they're going here halfway down the backstretch. Already 198 miles an hour for your race leader, Sean Langdon. Close into turn 3. Hamlin can look to the inside, not quite have the position just yet. Oh my gosh, 3 wide for the race lead. Once again on the high side, here comes Smith. Not going to get it at the line. Hamlin looks to take that spot away into turn number 1. We'll go 3 wide for a moment. They'll sort it out. Now teammates going to run nose to tail. Smith and Bruning third and fourth. Michael Taylor still lurking in the background after battling for the race lead just a handful of laps ago for the second time. Here comes the 31 of Stefan Rossman. Rossman looking for a way around and a big move to the bottom of the racetrack for that 30 Copenhagen machine. Big moves all over. Tell you what, I do believe we've got a rear camera shot. Do we got that one? Do we got a? Let's go. Take a look. Take a look at this beautiful camera placement here. Big shout out to Marcellus Bruning and his 61 crew, allowing us to attach a camera or two to the cars. Let you get a little bit of perspective of how things look from the tail end of one of these Lotus 79s. We're looking back off the 61. That's Christopher Hamlin running in the 4th position. Down on the bottom of the racetrack, that's I believe that is the 80 of Douglas Small. Yes, it is. He's going to lose a lap here, and it's going to be, oh man, that's going to be tough to get that lap back. He's going to have to depend on a caution flag. Will we see a caution flag here tonight? We've been clean and green all night, and it looks like we've got green flag pit stops underway. Coming to pit road this time around is Marcellus Bruning in the 61 Miller-sponsored 79. James Smith looking to take the race lead now. Side-by-side racing action for your race lead. Ooh. See the move by Taylor. Michael Taylor making a big move to the inside. That's going to catch the 82 off guard for a moment. He's going to move to the high side. We'll go side-by-side for your top 4 positions. Does anybody break for pit road? And here it is. Drivers breaking for pit road. James Smith, and I believe that may be Chris Brown behind him. Yes, it is. 37 of Chris Brown going to come to pit road. Langdon, Hamlin, Taylor, Rossman all staying out on track. 55 of Bill Smitham also going to stay out there on the racetrack. Haven't talked much about this man right here. He's had a pretty quiet night so far. Bill Smitham running in that 5th position, hanging on to the drivers in front, trying to keep himself up there in a position to try to keep some of the draft, keep some of the speed up. And there it is. Yeah, he's definitely got the draft here. Going to get pulled around the track just a little. You can hear him feathering the gas, playing with the fuel, and he's going to head to pit road with your race leaders. And we'll head back out front with your new race leader once again. Top of the scoring pylon, Michael Taylor going to take control of the race lead just a little over a quarter of the way through tonight's Indianapolis Grand Prix. Lap number 28 underway with only 2 drivers yet to make their first round of green flag pit stops. So we're going to keep our eye on Mark Bruning. Where does Bruning reemerge? Where does he end up blending back in? He's got himself about a 1.5 seconds advantage over James Smith. Will that early run to pit road benefit Bruning? 195 miles an hour right now as Taylor going to break from the racetrack. That's going to give Rossman the race lead for the first time here tonight. The 31 Lotus machine going to grab a lap lead here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the Indianapolis Grand Prix. And it's close. We're going to look right here. Check this out. We got to go right here. Rossman out to a big race advantage right now, but he's yet to make his first pit stop of the evening. Mark Bruning not able to leapfrog the drivers that stayed out 2 extra laps. You can see Christopher Hamlin right there in that 82 machine. 30 of Sean Langdon still out in front of him. How will these drivers go? Will they get around Michael Taylor? We'll have to wait to see. Closing in on Taylor really quick. You can see him down there on the access road, and he's not going to beat him onto the track. Taylor going to drop now back to the 5th position. Will he be able to get up to speed, though, before the next 2 drivers leapfrog him? And not going to be able to do so. So a little bit of a tough run there for Michael Taylor. He's going to lose a handful of positions during this pit road exchange. Bruning, he was able to grab the top spot right here. Bruning going to move himself into second. Stefan Rossman, your race leader, down onto pit road. Car back underway, heading off of pit road. Not at pit road exit yet. There he goes, up to speed on the gas, going through the gears. Can Rossman blend before he gets past? And I don't think he's going to be able to do it. Making short work. After the round of green flag pit stops, Rossman going to fall through this running order. This is where things may begin to get a little interesting here tonight, race fans. We're starting to see some separate packs. Can Rossman hang on to those top 3? This is going to be big for Rossman. And what do you do if you are in that 31? I mean, you got 3 cars right behind you, all lined up as well. Do you kind of let out of the gas and back up to that pack, and then all 4 of you make a run back to the front? Because right now, even with the battling in front of them, it looks like Langdon, Bruning, and Hamlin slowly stretching the gap between themselves and Rossman. We're looking at the timing and scoring, and Rossman's running some comparative lap times, but it does indeed look like he's backed his machine up, backed that Lotus 79 to the aid of the 69 of James Smith. Smith now going to run in that 5th position. He's got Bill Smith and Michael Taylor all in tow. Will these 4 drivers in the second pack be able to make it back to your top 3? Langdon going to show the way, and there it is. I mean, look how close, or look how quick, I should say, they're going to close in. They're absolutely going to eat into the gap for your top 3 drivers, and they're going to be here by the time they head into turn 3. And, well, before they get to turn 2, those 4 drivers have arrived. So the 7-car breakaway here tonight, Chris Brown and Douglas Small coming up with the short end of the stick during that first round of green flag pit stops here tonight in the Indianapolis Grand Prix. 32 laps into this 100-lap event. We have been clean and green all night long, so it appears it's going to be right around 25 to 30 laps on the fuel mileage for these drivers. So I believe we're going to see at least 3 more pit stops. Everybody clean and clear on the pit road. Big moment there for the 69 of Smith. Smith almost into the outside wall in that 4th position. Man, I tell you, these guys going at it still. Haymakers left and right, uppercuts, all types of stuff. Everything from the tool shed's been thrown at each other here tonight. We've had a ton of lead changes, and even though we've got a long race here tonight, drivers, I don't want to say throwing caution to the wind, but they're wanting to assert themselves at the front and lead a ton of laps. Rodriguez going to walk away with 1 point for the pole position. We're going to hand out another point for leading the most laps here tonight. So nobody going to be able to walk away with max points, as Rodriguez is out of tonight's race early. Engine trouble for the 75. Going to put him out of tonight's race. Back on lap number 7. Hey, out there in the chat, good to see you, Barry. Coming back, checking out some great IndyCar Lotus 79 cars. The Indy cars from the 79 era out here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And Sean Langdon, he's going to come to pit road. The 30 of Langdon going to come to pit road early here. He was just on to pit road less than I would say about 10 laps ago. So maybe a little fuel strategy coming into play early. And it's going to be, I don't know, Langdon may have some troubles. Langdon may have some issues. And we hear you out there. Got to get in on this. Well, I tell you what, if you're looking for a way to get into some of these IndyCar races in the Retro Kart League, you can look them up on iRacing.com. Right there in the league directory, just type it in Retro Kart and you will find them. You can also head over to the website, Facebook page as well. Get a hold of Mark Bruning, owner and operator of the series, and I'm sure we can get you fixed up and out there on the track. And it looks like Langdon with issues. Langdon with issues. We're hearing overheating issues and trouble. He's going to go behind the pit wall. Oh my goodness. Early contender here tonight. We told you as we were in qualifying here tonight. In the qualifying session, we told you it was going to be a race of attrition. You were going to have to really watch a lot of things. How much you were pushing the car behind somebody, how hot you were getting these machines. You really got to watch the engines. You want to stay with that aero and you want to keep the draft, but you got to keep these engines cool as well. Overheating troubles, and the engine will expire for that. Copenhagen number 30, Sean Langdon going to bring his machine behind pit wall, and that's going to be your second driver out of tonight's race with engine trouble. Langdon, you're going to walk away with 9th here from Indy. So we will not see a repeat winner here. Let me rephrase that. We won't see a back-to-back race winner right now leading tonight's race. Bottom of the racetrack in that Marlboro sponsor number 22 Lotus machine. That's Michael Taylor. Taylor took the checkered flag in the first race of the season. Here he is trying to get back to victory lane in race number 3 in the Indianapolis Grand Prix here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Want to give a big shout out to everybody out there watching in TV land, whether you're joining us over there on Twitch, maybe you're on the Facebook page, or right here on the YouTube side of things. We do appreciate each and every one of you joining us here tonight. And as we always say, if you enjoy the racing action, if you like the content these drivers are handing out here tonight from Indianapolis Motor Speedway, well, show them some love and appreciation and join us in that push for 3,000 subscribers. Drop the drivers that thumbs up, click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right-hand side to get notified anytime we go live. No need for a calendar anymore. You'll get a nice little notification from us each and every time we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. 7 days a week, great racing action coming to you. We've got some real-life racing going on right now. I believe our good buddy from up north in the Mitten State, that's right, Michigan. I believe Brett the Jet out there on the track tonight and this weekend, so we're going to try to catch up with our good buddy Brett and see how his race weekend went. I want to give another big shout out as well to one of the Turn 3 posse members, one of the original posse members at that. Donald Bennett up there in Kutztown, or actually he's no longer in Kutztown, moved just up the road. Forget the name of the town he's in now, but just around the corner from where he was. So happy birthday, Mr. Bennett. Hope to see you around soon, and yeah, we'll continue watching some great racing action here tonight from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Just 10 laps away from the halfway point. We have been green flag racing the entire night. These drivers not letting up, absolutely relentless in pursuit for the race lead. Mark Bruning has it for the time being. Bruning turning his season around with a good finish last week. Listed just outside of your top 5 in the point standings after 2 races in. Michael Taylor leading them all by 10 points. Sean Langdon came into tonight's race just 10 points back in second. Hamley with a great run as well here tonight. And we're not seeing Johnny Hamby, who came into tonight's race sitting in third in the overall point standings. So he's going to fall through the running order as well. Back into turn number 3 once again. We'll take another look at this field as they head around the track. We're going to complete lap number 41. Lap number 42 going to go on the board this time around. Drivers still vying for that top spot. We'll take it high above the track with our turn 3 drone cam here tonight. Big shout out to our drone operator down there trying to bring us some great overhead camera shots here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Big shout out to all of the crews and drivers as well for allowing us to put some of these great camera shots out there on their cars. And I tell you what, we're going to go back to one of those camera shots that we particularly really like. Let's go up the front end. Let's go to the nose cam here with the 22 of Michael Taylor. We've seen off of the tail end of Mark Bruning earlier here tonight. We'll try to get back to that camera here in just a moment. Watching off of the nose here of the 22. Taylor sitting in 4th, up 1 position from where he qualified, and has been inside of your top 5 pretty much all night long. I tell you what, let's take a look off of the left rear. Take a look at those suspension parts right there. You can see, although this track looks very smooth, look at the shocks and the control arms and everything moving around right there. You can see that wheel definitely not staying in just one fixed position. So a lot of intricate components on these old school IndyCar machines. Whoa, close right there for Taylor and Smith. After battling for the race lead for the handful of laps, the 22 of Michael Taylor going to now fall back to 4th, while Marcellus Bruning going to take over that top spot. The Dutch native, but now over here, he is, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Bruning accomplished a pretty significant feat, pretty important feat to himself as well. Became an official American citizen just, I believe it was last year. Now hailing out there in the Reno, Nevada area. Bruning, great guy. Matter of fact, if you're looking for a cool little read, you can head over to Amazon.com, type in the Blonde Bullet Racing comic book, and, well, you'll see a product right here by a fellow iRacer, Mark Bruning, creating the Blonde Bullet comic book. And it's a nice little read. I've had it for quite some time. I've known Mark for quite some time, back in the Formula I days. here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. So if you're looking to support a fellow iRacing with a great little read, maybe you've got a daughter that you're trying to get into maybe go-kart racing or maybe some slingshot racing on the dirt side of things, a great little, I don't want to necessarily call it an inspirational piece, but a motivational at the least. Field begins to make that single car train that we talked about. We expected to see some single file racing at some point in time here tonight. It's going to begin right around when we see our second round of green flag pit stops. Pit stops should be coming at you here in the next 4 to 5 laps, so look for drivers to begin eyeballing pit lane. And as we reach the halfway point here tonight, tell you what, we'll do it a little bit prematurely. We're going to go ahead and give you a mid-race report, a rundown. We'll start with the house cleaning here tonight. 11 drivers slotted in for the race start. We have still got 8 out there on the track with all 8 left on the lead lap. Early engine troubles for your pole sitter, Rafael Rodriguez, and he's going to finish in that 10th position. And then some overheating troubles causing engine issues for the 30 of Sean Langdon. He had a clean, pristine machine coming to pit lane, but unfortunately temperatures just out of hand and not able to get him down, and that's going to put an end to the night for the 30 machine. That will leave us with just those 8 drivers remaining on the lead lap. Douglas Small, he's going to need some help. He is all alone. Let's go back, take a look right here. Just all alone right now, and when you're all alone, you're going to be off pace 15 seconds behind your race leader as we run. He's got a ways to catch up even to Chris Brown, who's lost a handful of time, about 6 seconds to be exact, off of the tail end of Bill Smitham. So right here, Brown, he's going to need a little bit of help to catch up as well. And the battles will continue at the front of the field. Your top 3 going to switch around the positions for a moment. Michael Taylor looking for the top spot as Christopher Hamlink looks for the race lead on the high side. Mark Bruni now back to 3rd, running the high lane. He's got James Smith right behind him, and Stefan Rossman is staying in touch, is staying in tow. Right there, rounding out your top 5. Let's take a look right here, though. I want to give this guy a big pat on the back, if you will, an attaboy, if you want. The 55 of Bill Smitham, he was about 3 seconds behind your race leaders when we started our first round of green flag pit stops. We thought running a little bit long, he may lose some time and lose some track position, but he's parlayed his strategy into not just making up that time, but being right here battling for positions inside of the top 5. And it looks like we've got drivers to pit road. Michael Taylor going to bring his 22 machine down to pit lane. There you can see him. It's a slow crawl of 57 miles an hour down to the attention of your crew. And that's gotta feel like a baby crawl to these drivers after they're out there on the track turning into laps 200 miles an hour plus, lap after lap, to drive 57 miles an hour on pit lane. What's that famous song, I Can't Drive 55? Well, I don't blame him. Maybe he was a race car driver. Now that was Jerry. If you know, you know. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Mark Bruni going to break off of the racetrack, and he's going to head down to pit road for his second round of green flag pit stops. That's going to put the 82 back at the point once again. James Smith still in touch, still in tow. Stefan Rossman and Bill Smitham right there running in 4th. Chris Brown still 6 seconds back from there. Brown trying to find a way to get back up there towards the front, but it's going to be hard pressed for him to close that distance as well, especially if he's stuck out there running laps all alone. We're going to try to wait for the green flag pit cycle to finish itself on out before we give you your driver highlights and spotlights. Just past your mid-race report, we've already brought you your house cleaning so to speak. Drivers on their second round of green flag pit stops. Marcellus Bruning, Michael Taylor, Douglas Small, all to pit road for the second time. Your top 5 have stayed out on track, extending the fuel. This time around, Bruning was able to leapfrog Taylor, and he'll keep that spot even though he came to pit road 1 lap later on and off pit road. Great pit road delta time for Bruning, 38.5 seconds on and off, and stopped in his box. Michael Taylor going to turn in a 40.33, so almost 2 seconds gained in the pit cycle there for Bruning. But again, I mean, they're by themselves. Mark Bruning, we're going to go... We'll stay right here, actually. We're going to stay right here with your race leader still continuing to stay out on track. Hamlink's got Rossman and Smitham all in tow, all in touch. Bruning, he's got about a 3, almost 4-second advantage over Michael Taylor. So, I mean, they're running solo right now, which is going to hurt their speed. Will they be able to pick up James Smith? Will one of those 2 drivers be able to pick up James Smith? Or will Smith be able to kind of slot in between them and possibly bring all 3 of them back together and head back towards the front of this field? Hamlin going to stay out, so will Rossman and Smitham. Chris Brown going to work his way around the track, and he's going to come to pit road this time around. So that's going to leave us with just 3 drivers yet to make their second stop of the night. We're trying to do some calculations here, race fans, and now Hamlin's gonna bring his 82 down to pit road. Rossman, Smitham, they'll stay out on track, but both of them will be. I don't know if they're gonna come this time. I mean, I might try to stay out one more lap. We've seen Smitham utilize the long run and gain some position, gain some time on the race leaders, and here he is. Right on the tail end of Rossman. What will they do? Will they both come down to pit road? If I'm Smitham, I'm asking the spotters, get to Rossman. Let's see if we can work together here. Let's see if we can't stick together and come out packed up with each other. We may be able to gain some time here on the rest of this field, and they're not going to work with each other. Smitham going to peel to pit road, and that'll leave Rossman out there all alone, leading the way back down into turn number 1. A big time advantage right now. Almost a full lap, really. Bruning 35 seconds back behind your race leader, but he is back into that top position right now. You see the 37 of Chris Brown listed 1 lap down. He's already made his second stop of the night, so he will get himself back onto the lead lap once Rossman takes his machine to pit road. But Bruning, you get, look how quick Smitham and Bruning are closing that gap. And he's not going to come to pit road this time around. Looks like Rossman going to stretch it 1 more lap, and we've got battles. Here we go. Smitham going to make his way off of pit road. Will he be able to slide in with these guys? There you can see Michael Taylor right behind him, but Bruning, Hamlink, and Smith, they've been able to link up, and it looks like they may try to step away. Smitham hard on the charge, trying to make sure he stays with these guys. We're going to jump just above the driver's head, give you a view of what it looks like from the cockpit of this 55 machine. He's looking to try to get back to those top 3 that you see just off in the distance, trying to make up some time. Looks like it's maybe right about, I believe about right at about that 1 second mark. So definitely getting a little bit of sniff of that draft. Will he be able to close it in though before Taylor closes in on him? And yeah, he's definitely got that draft. He is picking up some pace, and he is closing in on those top drivers. Hamlink leads Brooding and Smith at the front of the field. Stefan Rossman yet to come to pit road for his second stop of the night. Last time he was on pit road was lap number 29. We crossed the line this time around, lap number 58. Underway, coming to 59 as a Rossman. There you can see coming down pit road. He'll cross the line and bring us to lap number 59. So just about 10 lap difference on the tires and on the fuel. Is Rossman maybe playing a fuel game here? Could we possibly see him on the pit road just one final time, where I believe the rest of this field is going to have to come down to, well, everybody going to have to make one more pit stop. I mean, that's it. They're not going to have to make two. Well, I don't know. It's going to be close there for Michael Taylor. He was early to pit road for his second stop. He may end up having to come to pit road and with nobody to run with right now. Previous race winner inside of that 22. It's a lonely night for the Marlboro man. Michael Taylor going to cross the line. Lap number 59 underway, but Taylor 4 seconds back and 10 seconds in front of Chris Brown. He's going to be a man riding solo for quite a while, and he is going to eat up a little bit more gas than if he was packed up with this top four right here. And I'm liking the strategy that Smitham's got right here. He's got the freshest tires out of these four drivers in the front. He's got more fuel than the drivers in front as well. So I mean, I'm liking it. I'm digging it, man. I'm digging it. The Stefan Rossman, there you can see Rossman just about 2 seconds back. He's going to lose a little bit of ground here, not able to keep the draft with those top four drivers. And Rossman trying to use that fuel strategy to his advantage, but he's not going to be able to keep that lead draft, and he'll fall back now to Michael Taylor, who runs in the 6th position. Rossman going to rejoin the race back in 5th. Looking down to the bottom of the racetrack is James Smith, and he'll take the race lead away from fellow sponsored Miller machine of Mark Bruning. Bruning going to slide back to second now with Christopher Hamlink still comfortably in third. Back into turn one we go. Top four packed up with each other. We'll take a look at them as they come off of turn number 2 and head down the backstretch. Once again, lighten up those speed charts. Brooding going at it with Smith for the top spot. Who's going to take the position at the line? We'll have to wait to see. We'll watch them all head by us. There they go once again. Great sights and sounds here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Marcellus Brooding leading the way. James Smith right there in second with Christopher Hamlink third. Bill Smitham in fourth, and rounding out your top 5, the 31 of Stefan Rossman. And as we watch these top four drivers all jockey for position, they've been doing this all race long. It's nothing new to these guys. When we came on the air here tonight at Indianapolis Motor Speedway with a very big, prestigious event, we thought maybe these drivers might take it a little bit easy, trying to just log some laps here. But, man, we've had lead change after lead change after lead change here tonight. Great racing action at the front of the field all night long, and only green flag pit cycles were able to separate this field. 2 green flag pit cycles now under our belts, and we've got a 4-car breakaway at the front. Stefan Rossman still sitting that 2.8 seconds back from your top 4. Michael Taylor another 2 seconds back from there. So will those two try to somehow get together and work together, trying to run down your top 4? They've still got just a little under 40 laps remaining here tonight, so it's possible But with another round of green flag pit stops still out there, could we see the pit road police pop one of these drivers here tonight and change the complete complexion of tonight's race? Could we see a caution flag fly? We haven't seen that caution flag fly all night here tonight at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. A caution can change everything in the blink of an eye. Drivers working hard in their Lotus 79 machines. I tell you what, we're going to jump on board right around the track from the cockpit. Check out this 69 of James Smith. You can see the battle for the race lead just in front of him as a Hamlink looks to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to take the top spot away from Bruning in a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Rudimentary, possibly. Maybe that's the word I'm trying to utilize here. Rugged, possibly. No bells and whistles on these Lotus 79 machines. It's not like those Delara IR18s that I got all the bells and whistles and anti-roll bar adjustments and fuel adjustments as well as the weight jackers. No, you got to run what you got. You do have a little bit of room to play with those anti-roll bars. But that's pretty much it, and it's pretty limited on how much you can change the anti-roll bars in these Lotus machines. So drivers, if the setup's a little off, they got to deal with it all night long. It just drive it like they stole it. I mean, would you need to drive one of these machines like you stole it, though? I mean, let's be honest. If there was a police officer behind you, you dropped it into high gear, and you're doing 200 miles an hour, you think there's a cop car out there that's going to keep up with you, or let alone try to catch you? I mean, I don't think they'd even blink an eye at you. I think you could go flying by them at $150, and they'd just be like, "Oh, okay, that's something you don't see every day." I mean, I know around my area, motorcycle riders, they kind of tend to use that speed advantage to their advantage. And being able to drop the hammer and drop it down in gear and just kind of walk away from any pursuit is pretty typical around the area for some of the sport bike riders from where I'm from. And with me being a law-abiding citizen, I have never, ever done that. Very safe on a motorcycle. Because I mean, there's just air and opportunity and death knocking at your door when you're on two wheels. Got to be head on a swivel, just like drivers here at the front of this field have to have their head on a swivel, checking the mirrors because they've been battling for the top spot left and right. There's been passes on the high side, passes in the inside. There's been passes through the middle. As it looked like the 82 of Hamlink may have thought about a three-wide moment for a second. Bruning with a big slide out of turn number 3, up the track just a little bit. He'll take back that race lead as we work our way off of turn number 4, back down the long front stretch. We'll cross the yard of bricks, lap number 69, now underway. Don't blink an eye because you may miss a pass for the race lead. I'm telling you, these guys going at it. Multiple lead changes just here in this lap. I believe it was about 3 lead changes here in just one lap's time. And we've had so many, honestly, I've stopped counting. When we got to about 20 lead changes, I kind of gave up on it. Everybody in the field here tonight able to lead a lap except for 3 drivers, so Everybody just vying for that most laps led, and right now Marcellus Bruning at the front, trying to secure that one bonus point for leading the most laps. Hamlink, he's got something to say about it, and so does Mr. Smith, James Smith, right there in the 69. He wants to get back to the front and begin to pad his back pocket with some laps led. Once again, they're starting to slowly step away from Smitham, who's kind of just playing it cool right now, sitting in the catbird seat, if you will. Just kind of hanging out, biding time, and, you know, that I like the strategy. If I was out on the track, I think that's probably the strategy that myself and the race team would have probably discussed, and that's probably the route that we would have went. You know, let's just keep this thing clean. Let's keep ourselves in the mix with an opportunity, and we'll see how the cards fall after our final round of green flag pit stops. Will unleash the beast, and you got to go out there and get it at that time. And I think that's exactly what we may see out of this 55. He's beginning to inch closer and closer as we inch closer and closer to what should be our final round of green flag pit stops. Lap number 72. Going to go on the board this time around. Big move to the outside, looking for the race lead. And he's going to have the advantage across the line. New race leader once again back at the front. Hamlink takes that lap lead. Down the back stretch we go once again, working their way off of turn number 2. Bruning able to get the top spot back once again, so already one lead change here on this lap. And how disciplined do you got to be to do what Hamlink just did right there? You seen how close he was running to the rear wing in the gearbox of a Bruning who's off in front. How disciplined do you got to be to stay at the right pedal pressure and not want to jump out? I don't know, man. Maybe I've been doing too much NASCAR, but I'm waiting for a bump draft. I know you can do it. I know it's ill-advised, but I know it can be done. You got to really hit it right and really ease into that push. Will we see something crazy here tonight? Will we see a push? That'd be interesting. Top 4 continuing to step away from Stefan Rossman. He's lost a handful of time. He's actually backed up quite a bit into the clutches of that 22 of Michael Taylor. Will the 31 and 22 begin to work together to try to run down the rest of this field? Because we cross the line. Lap number 75 will go on the board, and we'll have just 26 laps remaining here tonight in the Indianapolis Grand Prix. Right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, you're watching the Retro Kart League. And as these drivers do cross the line to put lap number 75 on the board, I want you to take a moment and think about what they've been able to accomplish. Great racing action, battling lap after lap. A smaller car count here tonight, but that has not given us any less action, as now Bruning and Smith going to break for pit road this time around. It will be their final stop of the night. Hamlink and Smitham going to stay out there on the track. Smitham going to have to be careful not to lose this draft here. He's still within a half a second of race leader Hamlink, but there you can see right now working his way around the track. He's going to have to stay right there in tow. He's actually going to close in just a little bit, so a job well done by that 55. But back to what we were saying, as green flag pit stops ensue, these drivers have absolutely put on a show. A limited number of cars out there tonight, but not lacking any action here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So show these drivers some love. Let them know you appreciate all the racing action that they've brought you here tonight. All 75 laps of green flag racing here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You can see a little bit of a thought there. It looked like Michael Taylor tried to think about coming to pit road, but he'll stay with Rossman for the time being. They're going to try to close in on Smitham. So while you're here, while you're at it, you know, we've mentioned it before. We'll mention it again, and we're going to mention it right now. Show these drivers some love and appreciation. Let them know you enjoy the content they bring each and every Friday night, and drop them that thumbs up. And Smitham gonna stay out another lap. I don't know. Oh, sneaky Michael Taylor gonna peel for pit road and lead Stefan Rossman high and dry, so low on the track. Two drivers yet to make their final pit stop here, or we apologize, four drivers, Chris Brown and Douglas Small, yet to come to pit road for their final time of the night as well. How long does Smitham stretch this thing, man? I mean, he's done this the previous two green flag runs, stretched it a lap or two further in the field, and it has panned out and has played out to his advantage. But will it be able to do so once again? 5-second advantage now over Rossman. 34.5 seconds back to Hamlink, who was able to get around Bruning and Smith. Came to pit road one lap later and was able to put some distance on the two teammates behind him. Bruning and Smith going to have to close in. They are nose to tail, trying to use the draft to get back up to the tail end of that 82. So this will be a good example on whether or not the draft is that beneficial to two cars running nose to tail. How about Michael Taylor? A good jump in the speed charts there. A good jump in track position. Douglas Small going to bring his machine down pit road to the attention of his crew. Smitham, Rossman, and Brown staying out on the racetrack and only gaining a 10th over the last two laps is Bruning and Smith. So surprisingly at the front, Chris Hamlink able to keep the gap. I mean, I would have thought those two would have been able to run him down rather quickly here, but they started racing once again after the green flag pit cycle, and they were 1.5 seconds back, now just 1.3 as we cross the line, so just 2/10 made up in 3 laps. It's they're going to have to figure something out. They're going to have to find a way to get back up to the front and battle for a race lead right now, sitting 5th and 6th on the scoring pylon. Bruning and Smith looking to work together, trying to run down Hamlink, who should take over the eventual race lead. Smitham, Rossman, and Brown yet to hit pit road. Race leader Bill Smitham in the 55. There you can see him heading down the backstretch back into turn number 3. How about this on the old tires? We looked at the gap, and it was 34.4 seconds. It is 34.9 seconds now, almost 35 seconds. So he's built a little bit of a gap, running long here. Heck of a night here for Smitham. And as we watch a race leader run solo at the front of the field, 5, almost 6-second advantage for Smitham over Rossman. Chris Brown going to bring his 37 down to pit road. Hamlink looking to take that 3rd spot back from Brown. Bruning right there, beginning to close in the distance. That gap now under 1 second. Bruning and Smith have arrived. We're going to jump back here to what will be a 3-car battle for, we hate to assume anything, but we're going to go ahead and assume for the eventual race lead and possible race win. We said they were going to have to figure it out and find a way to get back to Hamlink's gearbox, and they've been able to do so. Big gain over the final 2 laps from those fellow Miller sponsored machines. The teammates right there, they have arrived and they are on the scene, all nose and tail. Now Bruning going to look to the inside of the racetrack. He's going to utilize the run in the draft. That'll tow down the front stretch, going to catapult that 61 back out in front of Hamlink. And now Smitham going to head to pit road. He'll give up the race lead. Will Rossman follow suit and head to pit road for the final time here tonight? No, he's going to stay out, lead yet another lap. And we're going to keep our eye on Smitham. Where will he rejoin the race? It's going to be big. If he can get out of pit road and stay with these three, we're going to have ourselves quite a show to the end. Bill Smitham down and away, heading to the end of pit road. He's going to get on the gas and begin to work his way up through the gears. And I think Smitham is going to be able to keep pace. I think he worked this thing out just the right way. Bruning, Hemley, they may get by. But Smitham going to be right here. He's going to keep the draft. He is going to be able to rejoin the racetrack back out in front of these three drivers and keep the race lead. Can Rossman get off on and off pit road and gain track time the way that Smitham just did? Oh boy, it went from what looked like to be a 3-car battle for the race lead to what is now a 4-car battle and maybe even a 5th. By the time we get to the end of tonight's race, just 17 laps remaining here tonight from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching tonight's feature presentation of the Retro Kart League right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Each and every Friday night, you can come back and find some great IndyCar action as these drivers lay down quick times, and these Lotus 79 machines will head to the Milwaukee Mile next week. So that's going to be another test for these drivers. Very different tracks over the course of the first 4 races here this season. And how about that picture, man? Coming to 15 to go next time around. We've got 4 drivers fighting for the eventual race lead. But as we were saying, very different tracks over the course of the first 4 races here in the inaugural season for the Retro Kart League. We headed to Phoenix. A nice little, not quite a short track, not quite a cookie cutter either. A little bit of a technical course there at Phoenix. And then we went to the first road course of the season. And now here we are on the hallowed grounds of Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And we're going to kick it to a mile racetrack. That races somewhat like a short track. We'll see how these 79s make their way at Milwaukee. But first, we've got to crown a Grand Prix champion here tonight. Rossman down the pit lane and back up to speed already. And he is not going to be able to get out in time. He's going to lose not only a chance for the race lead, but he's going to lose yet another position. It looks like Michael Taylor in the 22 will leapfrog Rossman for the final spot in the top 5. So battling for the race lead at the front once again. Bruning shows the way into turn number 3 with Hamlink and Smith in tow. Bill Smitham right there behind. Lap number 86 going to go on the board that time around. Leave us with just 14 laps remaining. Bruning beginning to close in on the most laps led. He's going to have to lead about 5 more laps, I do believe, to secure it, as Hamlink has led a handful of laps as well as James Smith. But right now trying to pad that back pocket, trying to give himself an extra bonus point here tonight. Bruning with a good run last week. Can he follow it up here tonight from Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the Indianapolis Grand Prix? Race number 3, season 1 for the Retro Kart League. Off of turn 4. Close racing action. I'm telling you, these guys, man, I don't want to jinx it, but can you imagine 100 laps of green flag racing action here in Indianapolis Motor Speedway with the battles that we've seen for the race lead? Look at it right there, almost 3 wide off of turn 2. Smitham gonna try his hand at moving to the front. He's gonna take that 3rd position away and move Smith back to 4th. Down looking at the bottom of the racetrack with just 13 laps to go. We said that maybe the crew chief was holding Smitham back a little bit. And now having those fresh tires, more fuel, they're going to release the reins, let the beast loose. And now Smitham showing us what he's got, running into 3rd position, looking for a way around, looking to get into the race lead. With just 12 laps remaining, lap number 89 goes on the board. Back up the racetrack once again in the race lead. The 82 of Christopher Hamlin going to take control of the race, and that's going to open up the door for Smitham on the bottom. He's going to grab 3rd, now look for 1st. Smitham with a good run on the bottom into turn 3, and he's going to grab the top spot. Smitham going to move back to the race lead. Into turn 3, lead them all back into turn 4. Little bit of a slip up right there. Little slip hitting the curbing down there on turn number 4, and that's going to now open up the door for Bruning to take back the race lead, and Bruning gonna grab the lap led at the line. Man, I want to see this thing stay green for these final 11 laps, but you know what a caution could do. It could really shake things up. It would bring all 8 drivers that are still on the lead lap all within contention for the checkered flag. Oh man, it's one of those. It's one of those. I don't know which one I really want. I mean, we've had some amazing racing action up here at the front all night long. Drivers pressing the issues, looking for runs, creating runs, making big moves to get to the front of the field and trying to snatch the most laps led here tonight, put an extra bonus point in their back pockets. But as they've done so, they have separated themselves from the rest of the field. So it's not been just a nice little Sunday drive for these guys. They have absolutely been in and on form all night long, and Smitham gonna parlay those fresher tires to the front, and here he goes, smooth as chicken lips down there on the bottom of the racetrack. Smitham gonna take that top spot away, but a run now coming from Bruning on the bottom. He's got Hamlink in tow, and at the line they're gonna give it to Bruning once again, and it does seem, we're gonna call it a little premature here, but I do believe by leading that lap, crossing the line first last time around on lap number 91, Marcellus Bruning going to walk away with the extra bonus point for leading the most laps. But I know the one that everybody wants to lead, and that's going to be the final lap of the night. Bill Smitham, you can see how bad he wants it on the bottom of the racetrack. That 55 just kind of hung out right around that 4th and 5th position for the majority of tonight's race. Just kept himself clean, kept himself with an opportunity, and here he is, ready to kick opportunity's door straight through. Lead change after lead change here tonight in the Retro Kart League's Indianapolis Grand Prix. 100 laps, the official race distance. We work our way around the track here on lap number 93. Back down into turn 3. Smitham still looking for the advantage, looking to keep himself out front now into turn number 4. We'll have just 7 to go this time by. Going to take a look off the gearbox of Marcellus Bruning, driver running in that top spot, running a first car outside lane. He's going to have Smitham down to his inside, but look at the Hungary 2 back behind him. That's the 82 of Christopher Hamlink. You can also see James Smith looking to the bottom of the racetrack. Close quarters racing for all of these drivers as we continue this long, massively long green flag run. We have been clean and green all night long. Let's jump back on board with Smitham, who's now running in third, was battling for the race lead, but now gonna fall back to third, and James Smith gonna look to his outside, look to take the final spot on the podium away. So it's not just about who's gonna finish third or second, who's going to finish first here. All of your podium positions up for grabs late in the race here tonight in the Indianapolis Grand Prix. Just 6 laps to go, 5 when we cross the line. Our good buddy in the flag stand going to give him the 5-finger wave, the hi, how are you? 5 to go this time around. Just a little over 10 miles remaining in tonight's 250-mile race. 100 laps was the official race distance. We are down to just 5 remaining, with 4 battling for the checkered flag in the top spot. Smitham laying back a little bit, looking to possibly create a run. By the time we work our way to the final few laps, will we see Smitham make that run? Playing possum a little bit here, I think. But we've got Miller Machines going at it side by side in tandem. Back across the line we go. Bruning leads that lap once again. Smith going to take a second spot and now move to the bottom of the racetrack and take the top spot away, and almost touching out of turn number 1. Smith and Bruning almost coming together out of the exit of turn number 1. They'll stay side by side through turn 2 and halfway down the back stretch. The 61 leads the 69 of Smith at the bottom of the racetrack. And Bruning securing the most laps led, but he wants to lead that final lap of tonight's race and walk away with his first checkered flag of the season. Did you see how close that was? My goodness. Three laps remaining, and now a yellow flag is not going to help anybody in the field. This is old school style racing. There are no green-white checkers. Races can end under caution, and if we see a caution flag fly from here, it will more than likely put an end to the Indianapolis Grand Prix. James Smith looking back to the bottom of the racetrack. He's going to grab that top spot back once again from Bruning. Here comes Smitham with that run. We said he was kind of waiting until we got a little closer to the finish, and now with 2 to go, it's time to go. As we cross the line, popsicle sticks on display for race leader at the line, the 61 of Marcellus Bruning. Struggling a little bit in the dirty air right now. Looks like the 82 of Hamlink may have some issues, and we're going to go 3 wide down the back stretch into turn number 3. Final 2 laps here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Smitham going to take the run, take it 3 wide and into turn 3. Grab the race lead through turn number 4. Coming back down the front stretch. Once again, we'll see the white flag fly. Final lap here tonight from Indianapolis Motor Speedway, brought to you by the Blonde Bullet Racing comic book. 3 wide into turn 1. They almost touch, and Bruning way up the track in turn number 1. Smitham having to check up, and we've got a battle 3 wide. Once again, he can't cover that inside lane just yet. Smitham gonna have the advantage heading into turn number 3. Bruning with a run on the high side. 3 wide into turn number 3, and they touch. Bruning into the outside wall. They touch in, Bruning into the outside wall in turn number 3. That's going to put an end to not only, that's going to be all 3 of them at the front. Oh, 4 of them at the front. Bruning trying to get back going, and Stefan Rossman picking up the pieces. Oh my gosh, where did he come from? Wow. Late contact on the final lap, and that is going to wreak havoc as Stefan Rossman there to pick up the pieces. Limping across the line. Walking away with second is Marcellus Bruning. Chris Brown right here going to cross the checkered flag and take that final spot in the podium. Oh my goodness. We have last lap drama. Let's go back. Let's see if we can see what took place. Let's check a replay real quick. There's that 3 wide. Bruning comes down a little bit. Contact. Oh my gosh. Did you see that hard hit by the 55? Oh my goodness. The 22's going to get collected late as well. Almost everybody crashes on the final lap. Trouble at the front of the field. My goodness. Rossman thought it was over. And he's going to come off of turn 4 and cross the bricks first and take the checkered flag here tonight. What a race. What a run for this entire field. My goodness, as we try to digest that final lap, we're going to step back for just a moment, take a brief commercial break, and get things set up and ready to go for your post-race interview. So don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back live here with your post-show from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And we rejoin you live back trackside once again here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway at the end of one crazy finish. Drivers laying down some absolutely amazing laps all night long. Don't let the low car count fool you. These drivers put on an absolute show. And talk about a crazy finish. As our good buddy out there in the chat, Golf said, "Wow." And ET, my good buddy, man, how you doing? Good to see you checking in with us out there. Haven't seen you around in a little while. Glad to see you back here checking us out tonight. But absolutely agree with both of those guys. Wow, and crazy finish. That comes from the fans watching, not just me here in the production booth. Absolutely amazing race. Crazy finish. Contact between two at the front took out your top four, and the guy that was running fifth crossed the bricks first for the checkered flag. Absolutely unbelievable finish. Great racing all night long here tonight in the Indianapolis Grand Prix. Walking away with the race win, and we're going to let him enjoy this one. He's got a ton of media things to take care of right now, so we will give him that big-time shout-out and let him do all of his publicity and everything that he's got to get done now. He's going to be drinking some milk and kissing some bricks here very shortly. Job well done. Rossman was there to pick up the pieces, and Stefan walks away with the checkered flag here tonight in the Indianapolis Grand Prix. Also want to give a big shout out to the driver that finished third here tonight, walking away with the final spot on the podium. And that's going to be the 37 of Christopher Brown. There you can see Brown was a little bit off pace towards the mid portion of the race, but able to pick up the pieces at the end after that crazy finish and driver's parts pieces going everywhere. Brown gonna move his way into the final spot on the podium. So a great night for him and his 37 crew, and that's gonna move us right along. And we're gonna talk to the guy that walked away second here tonight. Also walked away with the most laps led, coming up just a little short after the contact, but able to limp that Lotus back across the line. Mark, crazy finish, crazy good race. How much water do you need, and how wore out are you?
Oh, I think I'm ready to collapse right now, man. It was awesome. I've been grabbing onto the steering wheel so tight my hands are hurting. My right foot is sleeping from pressing down the pedal. It was a fantastic event. I think everybody did a great job. We had a caution-free race. Everybody was close together, but giving each other room. And obviously, there at the end, the gloves come out. I saw the white flag with the blue car with Bill in front of me, and I took to the left. And then I was expecting James to come on to me as well. So we were going 3 wide there already, going into turn 1. And then what happened in turn 3? I mean, we were 3 wide. I was on top. Somebody gets unlucky at some point, and it's just too bad that we took all 4 of us away and pretty much handed the win there to Mr. Rossman. But man, it was awesome. This is the best race at Indy I've had in a long, long time.
Yeah, Mark, as the league owner, I want to bring you some one of the guys out there in the chat that just spoke up, a guy that I've been in other leagues with, our good buddy ET, the alien out there. He even admits it. He's been in the IR01 here at Indy, but never seen or had a crazy finish like this one in a race that you guys had. So absolutely, you guys put on a barn burner of a show. I said it all throughout the broadcast, man. I expected you guys to kind of play it safe. I mean, no quick fixes, no fast repairs. Anybody that's been in any style of open wheel machine, a little bit of contact can pretty much ruin your night. With 100 laps on the board, I expected to see maybe drivers playing it a little bit more safe, but you guys, man, the gloves were off all night long. Let's make no mistake about it. You guys were passing each other for the race lead 2-3 times a lap. I gave up on counting the lead changes because I mean I don't even know if I can count that high. I mean you guys Man, crazy good
Yeah,
race,
but
man.
but to
Crazy
be
good.
but to be honest with you, Dave, I was trying to be patient, but you get caught in that draft. This car has so much downforce that there is hardly any arrow push when you're right behind somebody else, or even if I don't know if you noticed that, but I like to step out just a little bit from the guy ahead of me to get some air on that right hand side. There is hardly any arrow push. So you can, if you're on a line and you don't make any sudden steering movements, you can keep that car going. And everybody was very well aware of that, which and when you're in the draft and you sometimes you lift just a little bit to just take it easy. You did that for a couple of laps here and there, and then you're thinking, oh, I might as well pass him, let him have a little bit of rest on that right foot. And so I would say the first 70 to 75 laps, we were fighting for position, but the gloves weren't on. And then at the final part after the last pit stop, you could see that everybody was just taking those gloves off and going for it, So uh, yeah, it was awesome. It was just absolutely awesome. And this car really makes for some good pack racing pretty much on any oval, even the shorter ones. I don't know if you remember what happened in Phoenix, but it was the same there. And the only thing on the big ovals is that one touch and you're really done.
Yeah, great race at Phoenix. I mean, really a great road course race at Long Beach 2 weeks ago before the hurricane kind of wreaked havoc on the season there for a minute. But you know what? If I got to wait a week to have a race like this, man, I'll gladly do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal out there tonight, Mark. So again, congratulations on coming home in second. Before we let you go and enjoy the rest of the festivities here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody back home or at your shop?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for helping me out with the broadcast and putting on a great show every week. I want to thank everybody that showed up in all three races so far. I think it's been really cool. I would like to see the head count a little bit higher on most tracks, but hey, it is what it is. And the guys that are here are serious about it, and they're racing good and they're racing clean. They're doing their best to do so in any way. And I mean, every now and again something happens, but yeah, that's racing, So yeah, again, thank you to you, Dave. You're putting on a great show for us, man.
Well, Mark, we do definitely appreciate that. I know all your fellow competitors appreciate the kind comments as well. And man, we'll have to see how it all pans out at Milwaukee. A little bit of a short track, but it is a mile racetrack, so we'll have to see if we can catch up with you at the end of next week's race once again.
That would be cool. Thank you, Dave.
All right, there you have it. Final few parting words from the man that crossed the line in second, limped his Lotus across the line to that second position. And you see the contact there, and you heard it right from him. I mean, everybody was right there. If you joined us all race long, you watched one heck of a race. I mean, absolutely amazing race. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us out there tonight. Golf, if you're still here listening, you want to get in on this? Well, come in and check them out. You can look them up on the iRacing League directories. That is the Retro Kart League. ET, like to see you over here as well, man. Jump in one of these things. Come have fun on a Friday night here with the Retro Kart League on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Absolutely amazing races across the first three events of the season, and I expect nothing but more great racing action. So with all of that being said, we're going to slowly begin to cut off the lights and roll up the cords. Hopefully we roll up the cords first. Anyways, you can hear producers hitting the buttons in the background. You know the sounds. You know it's time for us to run down tonight's unofficial race results here in the Indianapolis Grand Prix. Walking away with the checkered flag, picking up the pieces at the end, the 31 of Stefan Rossman. Marcellus Brennan going to come home in second with Christopher Brown back in third. Fourth place belongs to the 22 of Michael Taylor. James Smith finishes in fifth. The 80 of Douglas Small going to walk away in sixth after a late race. Issues on the final lap, man. Battling for the top spot. The 55 of Bill Smith going to fall back to seventh. The 82 of Christopher Hamlin also involved in that last lap crash. He will walk away in 8th. Sean Langton has an engine issue due to overheating. And the number 30 will have to wait to get back to victory lane until next week. Langdon walks away in 9th. Debut night, debut race for the 75 of Rafael Rodriguez, and he snatches the pole, but has early trouble as well. Another engine expiring in the 75 will finish in 10th tonight. The last man in the running order, that's the 26 of Perry Vance. And that's going to do it for your running order here tonight. And that's going to do it for us. Man, nothing really left to do except show these drivers some love and appreciation. As always, we would love to you to sit around, have some popcorn and some sodas, maybe some pizza, have some fun with some friends and family. Go ahead and join us in that push to 3,000. Show these drivers some love and drop that thumbs up, click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the left-hand side. Right-hand side, get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters, we do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by. If you're looking to get in on this action, as we've already said multiple times, check them out on the iRacing League directory. You can find them, Retro Kart League. Get your league, your request in, and I'm sure we'll see you out there on the track. But until next time, stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and we'll meet you in Turn 3.